Howdy, everybody, and welcome to the TexAgs High School Football Show, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Academy has all your high school football road trip needs this season. Get the right gear for the long season with free curbside pickup today at Academy Sports and Outdoors. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome along to the TexAgs High School Football Show, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Well, we appreciate Academy sponsorship throughout the season. This is going to be a very interesting week. We always start with a recap, but I'm actually off this coming weekend.
Yeah.
Due to some family stuff. So, Jason, you and Cade, our assistant, will be on the road, shouldering the load of our coverage. But kind of take me through your weekend last week in Dallas, and what'd you like?
Well, I was out of Dallas last week.
That's
But
right.
yeah, I was down in Timpson, checking out a few things in East Texas. Got to see, big Terry Bussey make his commitment to Texas A&M, and then got to see that big win by Timpson on Friday night. As they separated on homecoming over St. Augustine for a 72-6 win. But it was a big night Friday for Terry, who did it all on. He threw, he ran, he had some big hits, had a special teams touchdown. He did in all facets of the game. The guy that really really stuck out to me was JJ Garner, 2025 athlete, 5'10", 185 pounds, running back. He had a safety, 2 rushing touchdowns, went for 100 yards rushing, averaged 12.5 yards a carry, had a receiving touchdown, a scoop and score, pick 6, 3 tackles for loss, and 6 tackles. I mean, he did it.
That's a stat line
in every area. He's picking up offers. Picked up his first offer from Oregon State a couple weeks ago. UTSA offered on Friday, and I got a feeling he's going to be a guy that really blows up. Running back probably is where he's going to find his home, but he's got all the tools. He's gonna be a guy to really start seeing some attention out there in Timpson. Really, it was Timpson all the way. Yeah, I had a great time out there watching the Bears do their work.
Yeah, I think we all had stinkers last weekend. Looking at the score lines from all of our games, I went down on Thursday to Pridgeon Stadium in Cypress and saw Cy-Fair take on Jersey Village. Cy-Fair, I believe, scored on just about all of their drives in the first half. Their starters were out midway through the third quarter. That ended up being a 59-28,
Ooh.
something like that victory.
Yeah.
With all of Jersey Village scoring coming late in that game. It may not have been 59. I have to go back and look, but it was a lot to like 20 something, and Jersey Village scored kind of in mop up time a couple of times to make it look better than it probably was. But 2025 Cy-Fair defensive lineman Landon Rink was awesome. I mean, every time we see him, Jason, whether it's a game or
he's one of my favorites. He just gets after it, man.
Yeah, ball playing dude. And then Texas quarterback commit Trey Owens, I don't think had an incompletion on the night. I think he was like 16 for 16 and like 4 or 5 touchdowns. So really big night. Did a good job maneuvering in the pocket, I thought, keeping his eyes downfield. They got a couple of really nice receiving options there, Coach Miller and the Bobcats. So I think they're going to be a team to reckon with come playoff time, but they just were clearly outclassing Jersey Village. And then on Friday night, went down to the Pasture of Pain, probably my favorite name of a stadium in the state of Texas. See the Belleville Brahmas take on the Columbia Roughnecks, and I was really, there to see Belleville defensive tackle 2025 DJ Sanders. And Jason, I'm just going to tell you, man, that I'm maneuvering for him to be a top 10 player in the state in that class. He is big and very agile, and he's 300 pounds and runs like he's 200 pounds. And there's some technique stuff that he probably needs to learn because he's a small school guy. But man, the raw power and athleticism that kid plays with.
Um,
Is I haven't I, you know I told people in Belleville, I go all over the state of Texas,
yeah.
typically the southern part of the state of Texas. I've been doing this for a while. I don't remember many defensive tackle prospects being built like that can move like that. It's a
I
pretty special combination.
I will say I'm pretty jealous of you. I haven't. That's one guy I really wanted to see over the last couple years since you spotted him down there. Um, and I'm anxious. I really want to see this guy in person. The reviews you give him, and just what he brings to the table. He definitely sounds like a special prospect.
Yeah, Belleville runs away from Columbia 63-0. There was a running clock in the second half. Belleville really, they're one of the favorites there in 4A Division Two, and they showed
Mhm.
why. Pretty complete performance by Coach Rose bunch there at the pasture of pain. But there's not a lot to break down when me and you both have stinkers, and I think even Cade had a really interesting one though. He had Crosby,
Yeah.
winless Crosby was up on Port Arthur Memorial. I believe even like in the midway through the second quarter, then Port Arthur Memorial scored something like 31 unanswered, ended up
Yeah.
blowing them out. They scored in the 60s as well to remain there close to the top of the 5A Division One ranking. So,
Well,
Jason, what else stood out for you around the state?
I'll say this: Capel's 49-28 win over Louisville definitely caught my attention. Louisville is one of these teams that, over the last couple of years, they've been a semifinalist or they've been close to it. They're a team that is in contention for a state championship, and what Capel did definitely opened some eyes. So, they Capel's got a heck of a quarterback. They've got some things going over there. And that demolition they did, I mean, they were in control of that game from start to finish over Louisville. So that definitely had my attention. Highland Park and Jesuit in a 15-13 ball game that saw the
It's a
Scots
rock
pull out
fight.
the win. Well, you know what? And I thought it would be close, but I was expecting more like 50 to 49 or something, not this 15-13 deal. And then I'll say Mesquite Horn and Rockwall. Rockwall's known to put up some points. Mesquite Horn has been kind of hit or miss. They've got a lot of talent, a lot of young talent. Um, and Horn or Rockwall was able to pull out the win 35-31. But I come out of this a little bit more impressed with what I've seen out of Mesquite Horn. I think they've grown up a little bit, and this may be the kind of matchup that you know gives them the confidence to know that they can go into the next week and be something special. They can compete against anybody because that Rockwall offense is as good as it gets in the state, and them being able to do what they did there, hang with them, and you know and show some fight. I think you could see Mesquite Horn become a little bit more, get a little bit more of an edge. And then I'm going to throw out a special player, Donovan Webb,
Okay.
6 foot, 160 pounds, Frisco Panther Creek. They're playing Wilmer Hutchins in what is probably going to be for a district title kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
And Panther Creek pulls out a 38-21 win. He had 6 tackles, 4 PBUs, and an 84-yard interception return for a touchdown. Big
Gracious.
time performance by a underclassman, and he put him on your radar. Donovan Webb, he's one to watch.
Yeah, I don't know that there was a huge one for me in Houston outside of Katie and Katie Jordan. I'd said it was one to watch last week.
Mm-hmm.
Kate back and forth game. Katie Jordan, new school, but super talented and in an area of like it's basically in Fulshire. It's
Yeah,
way south of I-10. And they have got really good players, really talented offense. They lose to Katy 42-35, but just like you said with Mesquite Horn, the story of the game may end up being Katie Jordan, and maybe they're ready to take that next step amongst
yeah,
the elite teams in Houston. So a new school, a lot of development, and everybody knows about Katie, but when you play them that tight and you have a lead that late, a lot of people will start taking notice there for Coach Robbie and the Katie Jordan Warriors. Jason, where are we at this week?
I will be at undefeated South Lake Carroll at Keller. Both undefeated teams, big district matchup, should be a lot of fun, high scoring. And then on Friday night, I'll be at Longview at Forney, probably one of the top matchups in the state. Two programs that are really putting it on. Their opponents. Longview suffered the loss at McKinney to start the season, but they have rebounded well. And both teams loaded with talent. Should be a lot of fun. And I'm excited to see what happens out there in Forney, Texas.
All right. Well, as I said, I will be out of town this weekend, but our assistant Cade planning to see the biggest one in Houston, Summer Creek, undefeated Summer Creek, now in the top 10 in 6A, will take on the North Shore Mustangs, the number 2 team in 6A, in that just absolutely gauntlet of a district there on the northeast side of Houston. And, if North Shore is able to manage their way through that one, which I think it's going to be a dogfight, Summer Creek is really good.
Yeah.
That matchup with Atascocita is looming here in a couple of weeks as well. So
Gotta love that district.
That district is just, it's a nightmare. So, and then on Friday night, I believe I just mentioned Katie Jordan. I believe Kate is headed to Katie to see the Warriors take on Cinco Ranch and get his eyes on that loaded underclass group there for Katie Jordan, including receiver Andrew Marsh, running back Chad Gasper. They've got, the 24 wide receiver Zachariah Sample committed to Arizona State. They've got a really talented quarterback. It's a fun roster. So he'll get his eyes also on the Jimmy Alu Suliafu, the 26th defensive lineman now that's out down there at Katie Jordan. So busy week for you and Cade. For me, I will be on the road. I'll be passing through your neck of the woods to Oklahoma for a day and for
maybe
some
hit the casino.
Stuff. I hope I don't have time for that. I'm getting ready to have a wedding, dude. I'm already losing money fast enough. All right, for Jason Howell, I'm Ryan Brauninger. Thanks for tuning in to the TexAgs High School Football Show.